So get this, the World Cup is weeks away from kickoff, and FIFA, the organization that runs it, is now under criminal investigation. It's not facing criticism or responding to concerns, under investigation by multiple state attorney generals with subpoenas.
The story just keeps getting crazier, people. New York Attorney General Letitia James and New Jersey Attorney General Jennifer Davenport have opened a joint investigation into FIFA's ticketing practices. They describe it as, and I'm quoting here, Dave, a gauntlet of confusion, fake scarcity, and price gouging. That's not punditry, people. That's illegal filing.
And California is now on the bandwagon, asking for information, which means this isn't just a regional thing. 2 attorney generals in the Northeast and now the largest state in the country wants to know what the heck is happening. This is spreading, people.
So here's what triggered it, and I want to go through this carefully because the details are very important. FIFA released World Cup tickets in batches. Fans would log in and see a limited selection. They feel pressure, buy now or miss out, and then they commit. And then later, more tickets appear, better seats, better pricing, but the people who bought early, well, too bad. You're locked in, no exchanges, no upgrades.
And then, believe it or not, it gets even worse because some fans selected specific seats. They confirmed them, they paid for them, and then months later, FIFA informed them that those seats were being reassigned.
And of course, guess to who? To corporate hospitality. Your midfield seats that you paid premium price for? Gone. Oh, and here's a different section way back from the field. And FIFA doesn't deny any of this. Their position is, well, just read the terms of service. Which legally, okay, maybe, but who reads the fine print when they're under pressure to buy tickets? You just sold someone a specific seat and then gave it to a bank's executive entertaining suite. Unbelievable.
It really is. And then we have to talk about the dynamic pricing model, which is really just a polite way of saying the price goes up the more you want it, which means fans are on the website, tickets in their cart, and the price is moving while they're trying to check out. That's not a marketplace. That's a machine designed to extract maximum panic and maximum money.
And you have to understand something here. State attorneys general don't launch investigations like this lightly. Letitia James is not exactly known for picking soft targets. She took on the NRA for crying out loud. She took on major banks. She doesn't issue subpoenas for sport. And the fact that she's involved tells you that this has legal teeth.
And all this is happening just 10 days from kickoff. You know, usually you see these investigations after an event, after the invoices are all tallied and after the documentaries have already come out. But this is happening before the first ball is even kicked.
And FIFA's response so far has been, well, let's just call it what it is. Corporate deflection. They're saying, oh, we're cooperating. We've been transparent. Meanwhile, fans on Reddit are posting about how they feel duped, about how the stadium seating map changed during the ticket process, and how the front category tickets they paid a premium for suddenly appeared at lower prices in later batches.
Now listen, this isn't a scalping problem. This isn't bots buying up inventory. This is FIFA itself, the organization, the people who control the system. They control the release schedule. They control the pricing algorithm. They control seat assignments. And now they're being asked under subpoena to explain whether they deliberately misled customers about what they were buying. I say that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, just know Trump is involved with all this. I'm telling you, why do you think they gave him the FIFA Peace Prize? So everyone would look the other way. And no surprise, this isn't just a PR problem. This is a fraud problem, what the Trump administration knows a lot about.
Yeah. And then there's something that I need to bring up because it really tells you how little thought goes into these decisions once the branding machine takes over.
What are you talking about there?
Well, we got to talk about Seattle. They're hosting a match that FIFA designated as the Pride Match. It's meant to coincide with Seattle's Pride weekend. The idea on paper is inclusion. You know, celebrating LGBTQ plus fans and players. It's a beautiful sentiment and a great way to do it.
That sounds lovely. And is there a problem with that?
Well, yeah, the match is between Egypt and Iran.
Okay, that one's a little weird.
Yeah, 2 countries where homosexuality is criminalized. So, what does FIFA decide to do? Well, for some unknown reason, they scheduled these 2 teams for a pride match.
I wonder who in the branding department thought this through, unless it was somebody really trying to make a point, because this should not be a problem, even in Iran and Egypt. And that's my stance, and I'm sticking to it. Let's celebrate everyone and get over it, people.
Yeah, now, we all know Iran's Football Federation formally requested that FIFA ban pride flags from the stadium. Egypt objected to participating in what they called, and I'm quoting here, an irrational move that supports a certain group. So now FIFA is in an impossible position. Do they cancel the pride designation and look like they're caving to authoritarian demands? Or do they keep it and put players, fans, and activists in a potentially dangerous situation?
Well, it sounds to me like it was all planned. The Trump administration has been taking away women's rights, LGBTQ rights, everybody's rights. So it's making me wonder if they wanted to make this a spectacle rather than a celebration.
Well, if they did, they definitely accomplished that.
Now, Seattle, the host city, well, they're caught in the middle. And Seattle has one of the largest pride celebrations in the country. The city built this World Cup bid party on values of inclusion. So now they're hosting a match where visiting teams are actively demanding those values be suppressed.
Look, this is exactly what happens when an organization treats politics like a decoration. The world is complicated out there, and FIFA, an organization that prides itself on being above politics, which is an absolute joke, has walked directly into one of the most politically charged situations imaginable.
And the problems are not just legal and cultural, they're practical. Because let's talk about what's happening on the American side, because it's not great.
Nope. Arlington, Texas, AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys. They're hosting 9 World Cup matches. That's a lot of matches. And according to recent reports, only 35 to 50% of the available tickets have been sold. Less than half for a World Cup.
Well, AT&T Stadium is also one of the most expensive venues. The average ticket price is around $1,557, and they just completed a $350 million upgrade. US. And they're looking at potentially half-empty stands for some of the matches. But don't worry, all of the billionaires, I'm sure, will fill those in before kickoff just to make it look good.
Yeah, for sure. Usually, the scarcity is real. Usually, people are fighting for access. The fact that there's just so much unsold inventory this close to the tournament suggests something is broken in the pricing model. Anyone with half a brain can see that.
It's all smoke and mirrors as usual, what the Americans seem to do very well. So let's talk about World Cup news right here in Canada, okay? Vancouver just doubled its World Cup budget from roughly $230 million to nearly $600 million. And to cover that gap, Vancouver City Council cut funding for 6 city services.
Excuse me? They cut funding for community programs, infrastructure projects, things that were already in the budget. Things that were planned and things that people in Vancouver were counting on, all shelved just because FIFA's invoice got bigger.
And look, I want to be a little bit fair here. The province of BC just released updating projections showing $31 million in reduction in some of the cost categories. So they're trying. They're watching the numbers and they're trying to make it work. But the overall trajectory is up, way up. And the city, the municipality, is absorbing the hit.
And Toronto is dealing with its own version of this. Sure, the numbers are different, but the dynamic is the same. The federal government promised $473 million towards the overall cost. The rest falls on the provinces and the cities. And when the costs overrun, which they always do with events like this, it's the municipal level that has the fewest options.
It's FIFA making all the profits and the regular people absorbing the costs. What a surprise. And this is all happening just for 3 weeks of matches. 7 games in Vancouver and 6 in Toronto. 13 matches total in Canada. And the price tag is now consuming municipal budgets at the expense of the people those budgets were designed to serve.
Now, we already covered the federal angle a couple of weeks ago. And when we talked about Canada's hosting costs, which are $82 million per match, by the way, the argument from FIFA and its supporters was, well, this is a global celebration. The exposure is worth it. The economic activity will flow.
Right. But now, weeks later, FIFA is under investigation for consumer fraud. The Pride match has become an international incident, and American host cities are starting at half empty stadiums. And Canadian taxpayers are still holding a $1 billion invoice.
Now, listen, I want to be clear about this. I'm not saying that Canada should boycott its own World Cup matches. That's not the argument here. Local businesses in Toronto and Vancouver are counting on this. Workers, restaurants, hotels, they didn't write the FIFA contract. They should not be the ones who pay the price for this.
So go to your local bar and watch it. So if you want to watch FIFA, go watch it at your local bar. Support your local businesses, because we all know that FIFA will take the broadcast money, the sponsor money, the corporate hospitality money. So supporting a local business is the best way you can fight back against the billionaires, because the host cities, we're going to take all the costs, the security costs, the transit costs, the infrastructure costs, and the fans, that people who actually love the sport, will get dynamic pricing, seat reassignments, and a pride match that nobody thought through for even 5 minutes. Or maybe they did. I truthfully think it was all political.
I like your thought there. Yeah, Canada should welcome the world. We should cheer the matches, support those local businesses, celebrate the game. But none of that is in conflict with holding FIFA accountable. You can love the sport and still demand better from the people who run it.
So my advice, skip the tickets and go to your local bar. You're going to have a lot more fun anyway, and beer's going to be a lot cheaper.
Thanks for watching, everybody, and let us know if you're going to be watching the World Cup and where you'll be watching it from.
We'll see you tomorrow with a lot more fun stuff. Have a great day, everyone.
Ciao for now.